I mean, I would say I think my PACT course was really amplified by the fact that I had GPT, like Copilot, running for me
Hmm.
in the background because it
Hmm.
would it would write almost entire functions in PACT for me.
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
I mean, it was a live experience, just
Hmm.
recorded, of me walking through how I'm building things. And so, yeah, if you could just have GPT-4
Hmm.
autofill some things PACT code wise for you, I think an online editor like that would be awesome.
Hmm. And then I have a type poller, a function poller, and we've got all the type definitions for a smart contract if we're using TS. Uh, I can pull a function out of a contract and scope the caps for you automatically.
Nice. That's really awesome, actually.
They should promote this. Like it's all in the SDK, man. They've got it all in there. And I tagged one of the community managers. I'm like, you guys have
Yeah,
this gold mine
that's
sitting
like I was
here. Like,
because I'm
what?
pretty sure that's what they were. Well, when I was reading through the code of Kadena.js, I saw that they were writing a packed JavaScript interpreter,
Yep.
or
Yep.
I don't know if I said that the right way, but and it's like so you can determine what the types are. You can automatically
Hmm.
import all your types, like all the
Yep.
data, the schemas into TypeScript. I was like, okay, that's pretty nice. That's really
Yeah.
nice. I don't really write in TypeScript all that much, but I know it would be super nice to have that.
Yeah.
And then the second part to that was all of your def caps are
Hmm.
there, and you can automatically
Hmm.
leverage those and
Hmm.
install those in your command. I was like, that's
Yeah. That's what we want. I I
yeah.
don't need that. So I have my own process of handling it, but I'm working on converting all my code over to Kadena.js. Not because I have to, because what I'm doing works just fine, and it's not really all that different than what they're doing.
Mhm.
But now I don't have to maintain it, and I can have continuity across everything while having to maintain my own library, which is fine. But I'm just pulling stuff out of theirs anyways and just repurposing it. Like I only want like 3 functions out of their whole stack because I have everything else. But then I was like, why don't I just move my whole stack? And now going forward, I can have like this block of code do this much stuff. And so it's one of those things. It's a lot of work for me, but I think at the end of the day, it's a better experience personally. Anybody new should be using it. That people still don't when they come in. I'm like, okay, do it the hard way, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're unless they've improved it and added documentation. I remember my
No.
biggest qualm using Kadena.js was that I didn't know what to use to solve my problem. It's
Hmm.
like, yeah, I'm trying to sign a transaction. I'm gonna have to go and read through your code to figure out how to
Hmm.
do that. That's true for Pact.js as well, but Pact.js is way simpler than Kadena.js.
Hmm.
So it was way easier for me to go into Pact.js and hit just like Command F, like sign,
Yeah.
than it is to go into Kadena.js and find code to sign my transaction. So
Yeah.
I get it. I understand why people would gravitate towards Pact.js.
Yeah.
Just because
You're correct.
one,
And that,
yeah.
yeah, that is what it is. I do. I the first thing I do when I use an npm package these days is I go right into what I would consider like their API, and I just learn right there instead of worrying about like where's the doc site for this. Most projects have really good doc sites, and those are the ones I look at the most. Right? If I have to
Mhm.
choose between 3 options and one has a really killer doc site, that's what I'm going to go with every time because that just makes everybody's life easier. And they've thought through the user experience and if they've taken the time to document everything. It's a maturity thing, right? And so I think they're getting better at it. Personally, I've seen a lot of growth on that side. It's just they're not there yet. And so hopefully soon, uh, with more of us using the tools, I think that will encourage them more to actually take the time to do it. I get it. If nobody's using it, if nobody's using it, is it really going to be worth for like 3 devs to go back and do all that? Probably not, but it's
Yeah,
necessary.
but it's kind of like a chicken and the egg thing because it's
I
like
know.
if they were to go back and do it, then more people would use it. And so you kind of
Yeah.
have this, you have to hit this, if you think of it as like there's a line and a graph of like the usefulness. Has
Yes.
to hit that line in the graph, otherwise people just ignore it completely. They see it
Yep.
and they're like, screw that. I'm not going to try and read through this code to figure out this problem. I'll build my own. because it's faster. I can just ask ChatGPT to throw together some code for me that'll solve my problem, and then we're off to the races instead of trying to use this library that would require me to read code and understand the code. Yeah. So I guess that's where I'm at. That's what
I get it.
I mean, that's what I would do. And, I feel like what I tended to do as a programmer is what others consistently do as well.
Yeah. I try not to go against the grain too hard. Like I know how to do TypeScript too. Probably similar to you. I just don't like it. There's nothing wrong with it. Actually, from a backend perspective, if you're going to use like Node.js, I think it's great. Have all your type definitions and everything succinct in there. It's very good. And I just don't like. I don't need it. So it's just more typing for me. And I was the other day, one of the devs he didn't shame me, but he's like, so you know how to do TypeScript, but you prefer JSX. And I'm like, I know how to do other stuff too, and I still prefer it. So I don't know. I'm just me. I don't worry about it too much. But anyways, try to find a dynamic background for myself that moves. Like I have those on my Zoom calls and Google Hangouts, and they're really cool. But like I want one for this that just like constantly moves.
You could probably do one of those hypnotizing things, just a nice swirl.
Yeah, probably put myself to sleep, but
yeah. Oh, we need our music, man. What am I doing? Oh, let's do chill hop.
Chill hop works.
I just want to see you pass out one of these days.
Pass out?
Yep. Pass.
Why? Pass out from what?
The music.
Oh yeah. Well. Can I actually, before you share your thing, can I ask you one thing? More your opinion. Gonna share. All right. So let me just start this over. So I'll just do coin. So I'll put in the coin contract, right?
Yep.
And so it's very, I mean, that's not bad at all. I mean.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was fetching awesome, man. Let's go.
Yeah. So I'm working on getting all the contracts in here so that you can do like a search. So like string search. So like this will start populating entries that you can select. That I got the API built for it. I just got to get the data into it. So for me, it's like the simple part. So I'm going to do single transaction like you have, right? With Kadena code. And then I'm going to do this, which is like a store your transaction. All right. So store versus submit.
Yeah.
How I lay that out is going to be different. But we've been going back and forth. Like when I store this, I'm going to store the command basically. And then I'm going to recover that from my database. When I've got all my approvals done, I still have to sign and submit the transaction. So would it make sense, like just to side by side the contracts and figure out a way to highlight what's changed, or just provide this contract and show like notes where it's changed? Like, does that make sense? Like I'm trying to show people the difference that they're improving so they can know. But in like chicken, you talk about chicken or the egg. There's like a million ways to do this, and I can't think of a good one.
I'm really a fan of that side by side.
Mm-hmm.
That might be a lot more work from a visual perspective.
But some of those.
No, okay. Well, the best websites I know of that help you see differences between files. It's like they'll have the left side as the OG, the right side is the new one, and they'll show all the green and red on the right side.
Okay.
Where it's like this is like, or the red on the left side, green on the right, I guess would be. So you can see like this was removed. You can see it's not there on the right side. this was added. You can see it's not there on the left side, something like that. I really like those git diffs, those deltas.
Makes sense. So I would just show this. Force approved. Okay, so I updated it earlier. So I would just show this, and then side by side, let's say I put like that in there. You would see that as like a red or something like highlighting it.
Yeah, it'd be green on the right side. So that
Green on the right side.
line
That's
would
right.
be-
Red.
That line
green.
would be green, and then red on the left side.
Yeah. I should be able to do that. I should be able to look at both contracts. I've already got the data, so I'm just doing a compare essentially.
Yes, and I'm certain that there's a JavaScript library that lets you
Oh, yeah.
get a diff
Yeah.
between two text files already.
Okay. That'll be a little project. I'm gonna make that work. And then I'm gonna throw AI in here. Like I want a little box that like suggests like you can like hover here and be like select this and then like do please suggest a better way to write this. Impact. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe it'll like pop out at you. I like it being in line though, personally.
Yeah, do the Copilot method.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be too hard, but that's what's on my. We talk AI all the time, so that's what I'm gonna just make it happen because I want it. And if I want it, let's just go build it. That's our problem. If we want to do something, we just build it. So
Yeah, seriously, that is. I mean, I feel like I'm slowly getting more and more narrowed, niche down. It's like I'm finally figuring out where I want to be, and it's not like any of the work that I'm doing is useless.
right.
It's like the things that I build end up being useful. They teach me how to do different things, like build a C#.
Mm-hmm.
I had to figure out cursor and get cursor set up for myself. Just different things like this. So I'm not doing useless work.
No.
Everything I'm doing feeds into the next thing, but I definitely know I am rather chaotic when it comes to my programming projects.
Trying to remind you, I'm the same way though. We just need to be aware of it, I think.
Yeah, but you've been focused on a specific area and you've been able to build
True.
tools, and all the tools are finally coalescing into something that
Yes.
is useful across a broad range of use cases.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, I have been here just like, oh, I'm gonna dabble over here. Oh, here's some dad bod work. You know, here's some bookends. It's like they're not super cohesive, whereas
Mm-hmm.
yours are. So at least you're in the same realm.
They are
Mine-
all to satisfy an
not.
overall picture. Yes, they.
Yeah.
I may go very deep or way off the deep end, but it's for the end state, right? And you just once you see it all connect, it starts. For me, even I'm just happy that it's all starting to connect like I thought. It's, you know, some of this stuff I started at the beginning of this year that I'm finally able to start using, and I'm so excited. So
yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it feels great to finally be in that place.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, it does.
Well, I'm going to keep working on bookends.
Do it.
Not
Let's go.
bookends, what am I saying? Playbook. There we go. So I still have the problem with the HTML in that it's weirdly formatted and doesn't translate well into VB code. Also, man, I fetching love auto formatters. They're
Mhm.
just gorgeous, man. They're so nice. It's like I can't even. They're just so nice.
Yeah, there's something very powerful about it.
We have pictures. Let's go.
Oh man, I really like to make stuff hard on myself.
I know.
Hmm. Thanks for the reassurance.
Anytime, man. All right, so we got our images. That was really easy. Like, the last piece really is just those list items.
I find that I have a lot of white space in my code too.
Is that bad?
No, I just gotta clean it up.
We are adding MarkDig.
MarkDig.
Let's go, MarkDig. We have MarkDig. All right. Markdown.to.html. Easy. Using MarkDig.
MarkDig.
Thanks for repeating after me. You could probably make a song out of this.
MarkDig.
MarkDig. Yeah. Converting Markdown to HTML. MarkDig. Yeah. Let's go export my book in Markdown and see.
Have you been working on anything yourself blockchain related? Are you kind of slowing down on that?
Not recently. I have been slowing down just because I kind of ran out of money, so I had to dedicate more time to finding clients. But there are still tons of things I want to build, like DadBot, for example. I still want to build that and make the DadBots be NFTs. So I still have plans.
Yeah.
But
busy. or priorities. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
At some point, we're working on it. Working on, I don't know if I'd call it monetizing what we're doing, but essentially monetizing our efforts. I mean, I think it's, I think it's okay to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Do it. You spent so much time on this stuff, man. It's like,
Some days, so it's weird. Some days it all comes really easy. And some days, like simple things, I don't even want to work on it. Like it's really weird. Maybe it's because I'm in it every day. And when it starts to feel like work, I don't like it anymore. And so then I do these things like, hey, wouldn't it be fun to put together this little site that does a lot of cool stuff? And now I'm on this rabbit hole, but you know how it is. I got deliverables for people, whether they pay me or not. I'm committed to doing it. So I take 15 minutes and get it done. But those 15 minutes, man, it's just 15 minutes, but it's hard to like dedicate my efforts to that. So I'm like, I want to work on my site because this is what excites me right now. And I see a really good purpose for it. So anyways, it's,
I think that's kind of why I hop around so much, actually, is because I do end up just chasing the thing that excites me the most. Not necessarily a great thing, but it's just kind
you'll
of how
find
it
your
is.
balance.
Yeah.
You'll find a balance because you're going to have to. I mean, you can't. I forget. Somebody said something to me once. It was really incredible. Like, you can do what you love, right? And if you can make a career out of it, that's great. But at some point in your career, you're going to do something you don't love, and you're going to have to learn to love that, and then you'll truly be happy, right? And I think they're full of, you know what, but here we are. They're probably not wrong. It's just harder than it. I think it's more about commitment and committing to something, right? And committing to something doesn't always mean it's easy. It just means we're going to do it. There's going to be bumps in the road. Anybody who's never experienced an issue in marriage is probably a liar, right? When you're not sleeping with kids, things can get tough. You can slip, you can forget things. It can frustrate somebody. And it's just about that journey though, right? Like, do you want to continue that journey? You should know that before you start it and commit to it. And it's like a life lesson, but it means something, right? And I think it's interesting. It's probably something that, I don't know. I got a little bit of age on you, so it's harder for me I forget that sometimes, right? And so I'm like, I've seen some stuff that puts gray hairs on your face, and so here we are in the fight together. But sometimes I have to remind myself, like, it's not about today, it's about the long journey, and today should just be enjoyed for today. But it's probably how I justify the nonsense I have to do that doesn't contribute to what I want to be doing. Like, I don't want to build people, but I have to build people.
You say bill or build? Bill people? Like charge
Build
them
people.
money?
Yeah. Like, you kind of have to.
Yeah, and there's something to be said for making them sacrifice something to use things as well. They'll treasure it more.
Yep.
I think it's a balance. If you just give everything away for free, you tend to you get used, especially if you're not monetizing a different way. I think Alex Hormozy's done a great job of giving things away for free, but saying like, I'm in this to make money. It's like, I may look really nice, but I'm just these are all just lead magnets for my main company so that we can make billions of dollars. So you see that there's a purpose behind all the things that he does. It's not just I'm just giving this away for free because I can, and I know I'm in a tight spot, but it's like we're making money at the same time. So I don't know. There is definitely a balance to be found. You can't give freely of your time, especially it's not good for your family either, right? It's just not. It's not nice.
Yeah. I think about simple things like what gradient am I going to use for this button? Those are like my decisions I have to worry about. I know it's completely unrelated, but same train of thought.
Oh. Weird. When I copy my book and try to turn it into Markdown, it like bolds the entire thing for some reason. Interesting.
It's what you're doing is not the easiest thing I've seen ever. So every time I look at it, I'm like, man, I do not envy you writing all that.
Well, I feel like it's not overly difficult. I'm just trying to find a starting point, and using the exported HTML from a Google Doc like could work, honestly, that's probably my best bet. I just got to get it to work, right? So
Oh man, my hardest decision today is going to be after this. Am I going to stream finishing up this? Yeah, I'm not going to finish up this JS tool today because there's still a lot I want to do. But do I do that or work on Pack today? The decisions are endless.
every day, making more. Let's see. All right, so we've got images. We load in images. Easy. We still need to set up lists. Bullet point lists. So they do what I want and need them to do. So to accomplish that, the issue that I have
Hold on, I'll be right back.
I've actually got to go in 5 minutes. All right, so I think I'm going to need to do this in 2 passes. Pass number 1, identify where all my lists are. Pass number 2, actually turn my lists into what they're supposed to be in VB code. That kind of stinks. Not kind of, that really stinks.
You hear me now?
Weird.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Perfect.
I have another meeting in 2 minutes, so.
No problem.
probably be wrapping it up, but thanks for working with me. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Got some things I needed to do buttoned up, and now I can continue working on my site. Add
Get
AI.
GPT-4 in there, man. Let's go.
Why not?
All of
Why
the
not?
useful tools.
That's right.
Turn it into a grand slam offer.
There you go.
Finally deprecate my Kadena code.
I think they're working on something that's a little more like all-encompassing, which obviously is the ideal way to do it. But you know, a lot of people use it, so kudos.
Yeah. I should have put a button in there that said like donate.
Nobody clicks those buttons. I can tell you that now.
Yeah, okay,
They don't see
alright.
them.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, man.
It's been a pleasure,
Take it easy.
Amir. Dude, let's have an awesome week. Let's crush it out. Have a good one.
Sounds good. All right, you too. Take it easy.
Yeah, man.